President Biden says he plans to erase billions in student debt. Borrowers could get up to $10,000 in relief, but some claim this is just a Band-Aid on a much bigger problem. KCAL 9 political reporter Tom Wade is live in West Hollywood now with reaction to this and analysis. Tom?
Hi, Pat. Well, as you can imagine, there is definitely some reaction on both sides of this issue. Some people say this sounds great, $10,000 to help ease student debt. That's a good thing, right? But others say it raises a whole other set of issues.
$80,000 is like a lot of money.
That's the amount of debt Kira Kurosaki left college with when she graduated 2 years ago. And now that debt looms large.
It is like something that's like really difficult. Like it's hard to start a family when you're in so much debt. It's hard to be willing to make like all these like big investments when you're like in so much debt.
Some relief from student debt could come as soon as Wednesday, when President Biden is expected to announce student debt cancellation. His plan is to forgive up to $10,000 per borrower for those earning less than $125,000 a year at a price tag of about $300 billion. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona on Face the Nation Sunday.
We want to make sure that college is more accessible and more affordable for Americans across the country.
But those opposed to this plan say it actually unfairly benefits people with relatively higher incomes and penalizes those who didn't attend college but end up footing the bill.
I think that it's not the best use of money.
Ben Ritz is with the Progressive Policy Institute.
The student debt cancellation debate has sucked all the oxygen away from the debate about how do we make college more affordable, and also how we could, while we're talking about this blanket debt forgiveness, other policies that would do more targeted relief.
And there's also frustration from some who spent years, even decades, paying off their loans.
The vast majority of people either didn't take out debt or they paid off their debt.
If you don't have a wealthy family and you don't get a nice scholarship, people that do have wealthy families definitely have an advantage.
Jonas Ginden supports student loan forgiveness, believing it helps level the playing field. He's not going to college, and the price was part of his decision.
I chose to move out here to do acting, and I don't want to pay student loans for the rest of my life. I know a lot of people that still are in my family, and that's not something I want to do.
There is still a hold on student loan federal-wise as far as right now in terms of when folks have to pay those loans, and that could continue as far as the midterm elections. That announcement also expected to come when President Biden announces the federal loan erasing of those debts. Reporting live in West Hollywood, I'm Tom Waite, KCAL 9 News.